All right, today we will hear the other side of the issue. In the studio is Eric Manalang. He is the president of Pro-Life Philippines Foundation Incorporated. And later on in the program, we have on the line Benjamin De Leon, who is the president of the Forum for Family Planning and Development Incorporated. But I'd like to interview first. We have the president of Pro-Life. Eric, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Karen. How are you?
All right. I'm sure you've been hearing the debates that have surrounding the RH bill. And people want to know all over Twitter and Facebook, what exactly is it? I'm holding the RH bill right now. What exactly is it about the RH bill that the church and the pro-life Philippines do not agree with?
Okay. First of all, let me put some premises on this discussion so that we'll all have the same wavelength where the church and Catholics and Christians are coming from. It is the definition of the when does life begin.
Okay.
It's not at 40. It is that the instant when the egg is fertilized.
Okay.
And that is already a human being complete with DNA.
So wait, okay. So of course we're starting on the premise, when does life begin? You are saying, pro-life is saying that the minute the egg is fertilized, there is already life. But even without a sperm? Because most
the egg
people
cannot be fertilized without a sperm.
Oh, no, I mean, so when the egg is there, without a sperm, that's not yet life.
Oh, of course, there's an
All
egg,
right.
yeah.
Okay, but so many people are asking, that's the point of artificial contraception, that the egg and the sperm won't meet.
Okay, first of all, well, I ask you.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you agree that fertilization is the start of life?
When the sperm and the egg meet, well, probably yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just offhand. We're discussing.
So at least it's a general,
so
it's a general principle.
yeah.
It's a general principle.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if that's a general principle, anything that will cause the sperm
and
to
the
die,
to die, or not to meet.
Or not to meet. Okay, not to meet is a different story. That's what you call contraception.
Exactly.
Okay, exactly. Now,
so you're not aborting, you're just preventing the meeting.
Correct.
I mean, bantering-wise.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. People can make love without having to have sexual intercourse. Okay?
So people can also make love without getting pregnant when you're not, when a woman isn't fertile, frankly.
Of course, that's why there's a natural family planning method.
Okay, all right. Okay, now let's move on. Go. So your argument being?
Now, if at some point the intention of life
of the woman and the man.
Of life. The woman and the man are supposed to be in love. Well, I'm not talking about promiscuous sex.
Yes. In the bounds of marriage.
Yeah. They're supposed to be in love. They're supposed to hold each other to be able to create a family. Then they must be able to have no impediment to continue that love into a fruit. Right?
I see. So you consider artificial contraception an impediment. That's the perfect word that you're saying.
It's an impediment.
All right. Go on, sir.
Okay. Now, if your question is it murder when the fertilized egg is aborted by any other means? Okay. Yeah. Of course it is. It is murder. Okay. Now.
So when people use condoms and pills, you consider it to be murder?
Yes, because it affects. They have abortive fashions. There are condoms that have in them lubrication that kills sperms.
You're serious?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh God! All right.
Yes.
Go on. Oh.
Okay. So it's not as simple as just having lubrication.
Okay.
So
I don't want to get too sexual way too early in the morning, but I can. Okay. I mean, I'm stopping myself.
Okay.
All right. Go on.
Okay. So that's where the issue is. Okay. Number one, on a viewpoint of moral, insofar as not exactly any particular faith, but even atheists believe that there are people that have the right to life. Okay. And there are many moral values that everybody believes in. Lying is not good.
Yeah, but right? Okay. I'm sorry to be very blunt and detailed on this morning, but there's no other way to go. Some couples practice the withdrawal symptom. The withdrawal Symptom, method. Withdrawal symptom. Drug addiction pala yun. Withdrawal method. In fact, I know many people that practice the withdrawal method. They're not using condoms, they're not using pills, but they withdraw right when they're about to ejaculate. What would be the difference of a withdrawal method and using a condom when the intention is not to get the woman pregnant? Everything in the world is about intention.
Well, intentions are always, of course, important, but then intentions must not be against what are laws. Okay?
Yeah, but is the withdrawal method acceptable to pro-life?
No, of course not. It's not acceptable to God, for that matter.
Where does that say in the Bible exactly?
Well,
I mean, I'm a Bible-reading Christian. I'm curious. Where does it say?
You're a liberal Bible-reading Christian.
Okay.
You interpret it according to what you wish.
All right. Okay.
Now, as in any law, God or man, at the end of the day, there are questions and debates.
Okay.
Somebody must decide.
Okay.
In man's law, it's the Supreme Court.
All right.
Okay. In God's law, as far as Catholics are concerned,
it's the church.
It's the church, and it's in Vatican.
It's in the Vatican.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but I'm just curious, why would the withdrawal method even be a sin or a crime?
Because
when it happens, one, you're not using anything artificial. Number two, it happens in the confines of the bedroom of a husband and a wife. Number three, no damage technically has been done.
Well, technically, when you say technically, that's a problem.
Okay.
Okay? Because we're not here technical, we are moral.
All right.
Okay? It's more than just intention, it is what is right to be done for humanity. Okay?
Okay.
If everybody had the same idea of withdrawal, which actually is a very poor way of having
controlling
population, it's very low.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If we are looking at it from the point of view of moral, because at the end of the day, this world has to proceed on morality rather than man's capriciousness. Okay? Or else we'll end up killing ourselves and this world will go back to what it was before man came.
All right. Now, I have the RH bill with me, and I read it. I read it in full along with the explanatory note.
Sure.
And it's not just about artificial contraception, which is very interesting. In the definition of terms, it even really the law was written to protect maternal and women's health. There are many other perspectives, even the prevention and management of sexually transmitted infections, HIV, AIDS, the elimination of violence against women, education on counseling when it comes to a woman's reproductive health, even the treatment of breast and reproductive tract cancers are actually in the reproductive health bill. Giving primary health care is here. Male involvement in participation when it comes to a woman getting pregnant. Menopausal and postmenopausal women are given care. Even basic emergency obstetric care is in the RH bill. Having a skilled birth attendant becomes mandatory in the bill. So with other parts of the bill, is it only the artificial contraception that pro-life is against?
We have to go deeper, Karen.
Okay.
This bill is not a bill that is initiated by a Filipino. It is initiated by the United States. It is a form of aggression. It is a form of changing our beliefs. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure you've heard of the Kissinger report.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have a copy here. But then at the end of the day, it is an affront on our sovereignty. Okay. We have a culture that's specifically Christian.
Yeah.
And everything that the United States wants to impose are anti-Christian.
Okay, but I think for our viewers to understand, the Kissinger report essentially talks about population management and control with expanding Asian countries.
Oh, well, let's put the gist.
Yes.
They want to preserve resources for America.
Okay.
Okay, and that's been declassified. I have the report here.
All right.
Okay.
Now, understanding that, okay, you're coming from the Kissinger report, there are practicalities when it comes to our issues on our resources. I was writing it down over here that we're hitting a 2% By the end of 2010, our population will reach 94 million. We have a population growth of 2% annually, which is way ahead of the 1.4% growth that's only needed for our GNP rate. At this rate, they're saying that our population will double in 35 years if we don't manage it. I mean, I've always said this, whatever way we call it, responsible parenthood, control, management, at the end of the day, it's staring at us in the face. Our population growth rate is too much.
Okay. What is too much? Okay. As far as population is concerned, it is not the problem. It is the asset of this country. Okay, can you imagine what would have been China and India during these bad economic times that the global collapse came? They were coming out ahead. Why is America at the forefront of all of this? And for that matter, Western Europe. Because they have depopulated so much. And there's a report on this. The baby boomers have started to become gray.
Okay.
They have stopped spending too much. They've reduced their houses. And at the end of the day, what is population? They are the ones that consume.
If you have the money.
The money is not an issue, okay?
Okay.
The question is, will the marketing forces be normal when the population is tinkered around with? Of course not. If we had not reached this point, how would we be able to have 10 million OFWs outside? And our country is still consuming. These 10 million are not only working outside, but they're consuming outside.
Yes, but I mean, now you're looking at things globally from the perspective that is beneficial to pro-life. But I can also go on the argument, sir, that you have European countries that are not overly populated, but the people live well, the governments are able to service them well. Countries like Germany, Sweden, I mean the Netherlands, even France, they are not overpopulated. Everyone is well educated. There are no squatters. So that, I mean, if we go on the China and India argument, you're a winner there. I agree, but we are not there. We are not China or India. We don't have that much land. China and India as a country have so much land. That's number one.
Well, talk about land.
Yeah,
okay.
But you look at other countries that are our size, they have managed their population.
I'll talk about a specific country that has no land but has become very rich, Singapore.
Right. Singapore.
Okay.
But they are not overpopulated?
They are not overpopulated. As a matter of fact, Lee Kuan Yew, for whatever it is, after the hindsight says, if there was any mistake he did, was to stop population growth. Okay. And that's the extreme, you know. That's the extreme.
That's one child per family then.
That's extreme. I know, I think he said two. But then once you start a contraceptive mentality culture, people go overboard.
Okay, I see. All right. Okay, now the discussion's moving on somewhere. All right. So you're saying once you start the contraceptive mentality culture, so you don't want the culture.
Well, the culture is actually the result or the essence of everything, including passing a reproductive health.
Okay.
Now there's nothing here that is not available in some other laws.
All right.
What you mentioned. But this has been loaded with anti-life provisions.
Okay. Now my question is this very good point that Carlos Celdran and Congresswoman Ilagan made yesterday. Condoms, pills are sold openly in mercury drugs, 7-Eleven condoms, flavored pa, may kulay pa, may lasa pa. But I don't hear priests rallying in Forbes Park. They're not rallying to close down mercury drug. They're not rallying in all these, you know, they're not rallying in sophisticated villages, people who can afford and take artificial contraception. This bill is essentially to give free access to the very poor. Now, isn't the church being anti-poor by not having the bill passed? Why don't you rally at Forbes Park, frankly?
On the reverse.
Okay.
Okay. This bill is anti-poor. This bill is going to kill the poor population. It is not exactly correct to say that because people are not rallying in Forbes Park and blah, 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 that it is something that we are running away from.
Yes.
This bill is targeting specifically 85% of our population that are poor and that are Christians.
Okay.